Hello. Figured it'd be a nice day to... Give me a sec. Anyway, I figured it'd be a nice day to do a guitar video and show you some of my guitars. Anyhow, I'm going to start off by showing you my 1967 Fender Bronco. This is a vintage American-made 1967 Fender Bronco. My dad bought this for me when I was 15. I want to say Christmas of '95. Yeah, that would be right. But anyhow, he found this from a guy. He got it for a good price. Luckily, he bought it in the '90s. You know, that was a good time to buy vintage guitars because now they're going for pretty high dollars. And this is a little different. This would have been Fender's considered one of their economy guitars. As you can see, it has one pickup versus whereas many of the other vintage Fenders, or even many Fenders even today, have three or at least two. Even the Fender Dual Sonic has two. But you know, the Mustang, the Jaguar, the Jazzmaster, you know, mostly they all have 2 to 3. And of course the Fender Stratocaster, you know, always generally has the normal 3 pickups. But I just shined it up pretty good. I just restrung it. This is a little different, however. I just, you know, you kind of string it from with the bridge. It's kind of, that's a good thing about the whammy bar. I can kind of pull up on the bridge and then just kind of string it through the bottom of the bridge, and then of course just through the peg. So it's a bit different, you know, the older guitars, you know, versus the newer ones where you know, the Strats, you know, you kind of come up through the bottom, you know, and so it's a little different. A few years ago, I bought this is a 2014 Fender Strat, American-made Fender Stratocaster. Cream white with a red tortoiseshell pickguard, dark red pickguard. This is a 60th anniversary edition. As a matter of fact, it has a little plate on the back, little placard, you know, commemorating the 60 years. So they started in 1954. What is it? Yeah, 1954 to 2014. So, you know, I bought it online in 2016. So I've had it a little over 4 years now. But anyway, I love playing this. Good guitar. A few months ago I restrung this one. So I'm getting there. I'm almost getting all of them restrung. Just kind of going through all that now. This is a Squire Indonesian. This is an Indonesian Squire Strat. Kind of cool. My mom bought this for me in the early 2000s. So I want to make sure it's running. Anyway, it's kind of cool, kind of punk rock looking. Has neat. Here's the back side of it. Last but not least, I want to show you, this is another guitar my dad bought. Well, my dad gave this to me in 2012. Yeah, it was around Christmas of 2012, I believe. Yeah, he was living in Chapel Hill. He probably bought it in Chapel Hill. Used to have a lot of cool guitar shops. Actually, Chapel Hill used to be a really good guitar, known guitar, it was a known music place, but a music city, a music town, I guess you could say. A lot of good indie bands come from there. Anyhow, this is a high-end American-made Sunburst with a white Sunburst color, white pick guard. I'm currently restringing it, so I got a lot of loose strings on it now. So good. The great thing about these high-end American-made Strats is that the woodwork is always so good. You can just tell. You can feel the weight versus a cheaper guitar, like a Squire is just a lot lighter in weight. But I do love the Sunburst. Has just a beautiful especially the tobacco Sunburst. Very good guitar. And oh, one thing I didn't mention about the Bronco is in the 90s, me and my couple buddies had a little garage band, little garage punk band. We weren't that good, but I have tapes of our recordings, and I have pictures of me too playing this from the 90s. I'm gonna have to dig out, but this was the guitar that was the only guitar I had. Well, I had a Yamaha acoustic at the time too, that I no longer had. Sadly, it just got damaged over time. But this is I have a lot of great memories with this, and thankfully I have recordings of our band recordings, and some good and a few pictures as well. So I want to dig. I'm gonna make a point to dig those out. So very cool. A lot of fun times in the last 22 years playing this off and on. Also, let me see if this is it. Oh, let me show you this. This is the orange, this is the antique orange case, or case, well, orange interior that the Bronco came in. So this is the original case. I also have the original booklet and the original strings. So, or at least, you know, or the pack the strings come in, and maybe, yeah. So anyway, I have a lot of the original stuff that come with this guitar, so that's kind of cool. That doesn't happen often. So this house right here is where my buddy Jeff and I used to come to, or where we would jam and record. Actually, in that bedroom right there is where we recorded with our, I guess our little punk rock band. At first we were the Fearless Dummies, then we changed to the Mind Blenders. Anyway, I used to set up, I had a 8-track, we'd bring my Bronco here, and I have a lot of tapes somewhere, a lot of cassette tapes full of recordings. Anyway, we used to, I bought an 8-track recorder, a cheap one. I think we bought it at the flea market. And anyway, I would have one microphone going to the drums, one going to the guitar amp, and one for the singer. And I was always kind of into all that, you know, kind of setting up, and we were all into it. We had big dreams, you know. Of course, that drummer, but Matt Moses, our drummer, lived here, and back then it used to be a white house with green shutters, so it was a little different, but a lot of good times there. Sadly, I left my Yamaha Keyboard there when the band broke up. And what else? I think my recorder. So, oh well. But that's it. So kind of, I just wanted to kind of share that with you, since this was where we recorded back in the 90s. So back in 96, 97. Here's a picture of our band. Try to get us all in it, because Jeff's, for some reason, laying down. Anyway, here's a picture of our band. But sadly, for some reason, we're playing acoustic guitars instead of me playing my normal Fender Bronco. And then there's Matt in the back at his drum set. That was in our little, in that house, and the house that I showed you. Well, you do get to see my Yamaha. I'm playing my Yamaha acoustic, which I don't have that anymore, but I had it for many years. Now here's a picture of me from 96 or 97 with jamming on the Bronco, and you can see under me on the floor, that's the my 1980s Yamaha Keyboard that we used in some of our songs. You know, we were always trying to make, you know, sometimes make kind of, yeah, you probably, you know, like Nine Inch Nail kind of sounds, you know. We were influenced by a lot of different music at the time. Marilyn Manson, you know, Nirvana, obviously. You can see paper all over the floor. You know, I was always writing songs, you know, material for the band. But yeah, glad I could find some of these pictures.